Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are pleased to welcome the 2022 Masters champion, Scottie Scheffler, to the interview room. Scottie, welcome back to Augusta National. You know, last year, this time, you were sitting in that same chair wearing a green jacket for the first time. You remember that?
I do recall, yeah.
If at all, you share with us your Masters preparation this year versus last year? How would you compare your preparation for this year's Masters?
So I would say this year I got in a little bit earlier than I usually do. I think I came in pretty late on Sunday this year. We flew out pretty early Sunday and came out here and played. And that was pretty much the only difference. I think going into the tournament, I tried to get a little bit of the memories and stuff from last year out of the way as early as I could. And so that's why I played 18 on Sunday. But as far as the week has gone, just normal stuff. I mean, I have dinner plans tonight, which is pretty fun. Last year I was sitting at home eating dinner. So the dinner this year will be a bit more special.
Let me ask you another question. Does it feel differently driving down Magnolia Lane as the Masters champion?
I think so. I think it's a bit different. I think, like, when you see the list of guys when they get in the tournament, how they qualify, and you see lifetime exemption by your name, I think is really cool. And hopefully I'll have the opportunity to be coming back to this place for many years. But just going one day at a time, just trying to enjoy each day, and the drive down Magnolia Lane definitely never gets old.
You're first, yes. Yeah.
In the winner's press conference, you talked about crying Sunday morning before teeing off. What would it be like Sunday morning this year if you had a three-shot lead? How would Sunday morning be different this year than it was last year, let's say, if you were leading by three?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know exactly how different it'll be. I think anytime you're in the lead at a big tournament that you want to win, I think each one is separate. Maybe last year could be a bit different just because it was my first one, but I think going into a weekend with the lead, I'm still going to be nervous. I mean, I get nervous going to play at home, and so I'm not sure what the emotions will be, and hopefully I can find out, and I'll let you know.
Stephen?
We know how hard it is to repeat as champion here by the short list of people who have done it. What do you think is required to join the likes of a Tiger, a Faldo, and a Nicklaus as being a back-to-back champion here?
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with just because it's the Masters, and it is what it is, and it's such a special tournament that I think we build it up so much in our heads. And I mean, when I show up this week, there's just more going on. I mean, that's really just all there is to it. And as far as my preparation goes, I've kept things pretty similar to what they were last year, outside of getting here a few hours earlier on Sunday so I could play more golf. But when the tournament starts on Thursday, everybody starts at even par. Just because you're defending doesn't mean that I get to start at 1 under. And so I'll be approaching it just like I do a lot of other tournaments.
Don?
Scottie, you're on terrific form again, and the top 3 players in the world rankings at the moment are now running away with it. There's a clear gap between you guys and the rest. What are the 3 of you doing that nobody else is?
I think you've seen just a pretty high level of consistency from us so far this year. I think if you look at a lot of the leaderboards, we've been pretty close to winning most of the elevated events, and I just think that consistency. I mean, you had John beating up on everybody to start the year, and then I kind of had a little run there with the players in Phoenix, and then Rory's just up on a bunch of leaderboards like he seemingly always is. And so I think a little bit of that is just good, healthy competition, and hopefully we'll continue to elevate ourselves through that competition, and then the guys behind us will be nothing but motivated to get to where we are. And so I think that kind of competition is really good and healthy for our game.
You're making each other better?
I mean, we're definitely not making each other worse, that's for sure.
Isabel?
Hey, Scottie, can you describe your feelings and mindset on the first tee and how they might change from Thursday to Sunday?
I guess it just depends on how the tournament's kind of going. And Thursday, you're definitely nervous, but you're just kind of trying to get settled into the tournament. A lot of that is positioning, and then depending on where you're going or where you're going into the round on Sunday, it's a different kind of approach. And so last year playing with a lead, I was just trying to stay as aggressive as I could and kind of sticking with whatever game plan I had at the beginning of the week because that was working. And so it definitely changes a little bit as the week goes on, but it's all very situational.
Todd?
Scottie, Tonight, what do you hope your message is to all of the past champions in that dinner?
That's a good question. I'm hoping that it's more of a celebration than anything. I don't know what it's been like in years past. For me, I think it's such a special group of guys, and so the opportunity to all be together and just enjoy a meal, just us, is a really, really special opportunity. I don't know many of the guys in the room really well. Some of them, it'll be some of my very first interactions with them, and so it'll just be kind of just a fun, special night. And I hope that we'll have a good time. I know we're going to eat some good food, and hopefully we'll have a good time.
Gary?
Scottie, when you think back to last year, were there moments short of Sunday that stand out as separating moments that clearly made a difference in helping you build the margin that you had, whether it was Thursday, whether it was late Saturday? Were there a couple that stand out?
I would say what stands out to most of me about the tournament last year was Friday afternoon. I think I turned and I was about around the lead, and then I had a really, really good back nine on Friday to kind of extend myself, and I built up, I think, was a 5-shot lead, and then I believe late in the round on Saturday I struggled a little bit, and if I remember right, I maybe bogeyed. I know I bogeyed 15. I can't remember if I bogeyed 14 too, but I had some mistakes late in the back nine on Saturday, and then I had a good birdie on 17, and then a really, really good bogey on 18, and so I would say those are probably the moments that stand out the most.
Okay, Beth?
Caddy, Tiger talked about how important teamwork is between the player and the caddy, especially here at Augusta. I'm just wondering in what ways Ted has been most valuable to you here.
I think around this place, a lot of it has to do with his prep work. He knows this place really well. Obviously, I haven't been around it so many times, but that doesn't mean he gets lazy and he doesn't do anything, because this golf course seems to change year to year, and so he is out there doing so much work, getting us ready that when it comes time, when the bell goes off on Thursday and it's time to go, I know I can trust exactly what he's looking at, and that's how I approach my practice. Is when I show up to the tournament, I want to have done everything I could to have played a good tournament, and I've done the prep work. I've prepared the way I should, and so when I show up, I can play freely. And so when it comes to Teddy doing all the work at the beginning of the week, I know on Thursday that we're both doing everything we can to play well, and it's very easy to kind of rely on him.
Jimmy?
Scottie, Jordan was in here yesterday, yesterday, talked about some of the coolest moments with the jacket in the year that he had it, and going to Rangers games and Mavs games. But he said the coolest thing was walking around with a suit bag that says 2015 Masters Champion. I wonder, as you look back on the last year, what are some of the great moments with the jacket for you?
I would say I enjoyed doing. I didn't do too much with the jacket. I did bring it on an airplane once on a commercial flight, which was I don't know if I'm breaking any rules with that, but it was hidden. It definitely wasn't in the Masters Champion carry bag as I went through the airport. But I had fun with it. I did the first pitch at a Ranger game. There's a really funny picture of me almost breaking the buttons off the jacket because I forgot to unbutton it and I was throwing out the first pitch, and that was fun. I dropped a hockey puck at a Stars game. I think one of the most special memories was we came here after the Players, and we came straight here Monday morning after the Players and came here. I was with my dad and my coach, and we got to celebrate a little bit and wear the green jacket around property here, and that was probably one of the times where it felt the most real, which was really special for all three of us to be able to do that together.
Let me just follow one quick thing, Ron. Phil once talked, I guess he wore it to an In-N-Out burger or something, Waffle House, whatever. Did you wear it anyplace goofy?
No, not really. It stayed in my closet for a while. I got a closet in my golf room where it was there for a little bit, and then it was in just our regular closet, so I could kind of see it every day as it was kind of leading up to the tournament, and just enjoy it being in the house. And I didn't wear it to any fast food places.
Next over here.
As prepared as you were last year and as much as you've prepared this year, do you still walk around this place and really feel there's a lot to learn constantly?
I think so. I think there's always just little changes that that they don't tell us about. I mean, the one making waves this year on 13 is obviously a big difference, but outside of that, there's some little changes to the golf course that always happens, and depending on green speeds, the place changes a lot too, and so a lot of it is just preparing for what we're going to see as the week goes on. And I mean, I feel like I could never learn enough about this golf course.
Alan?
Scottie, in this sort of new era for the tour, Rory and Tiger, they've obviously had big voices and everything that's happening. You're starting to play your way into that upper echelon of top player with your accomplishments, but would you want that responsibility of being a spokesperson and taking on that extra advocacy?
I think when my opinion is needed, I have a voice. I'm not sure exactly how much that is. I know that Rory and Tiger have been our spokesperson, and I mean, Tiger especially, it's hard. I mean, how can you not listen to what Tiger says? I mean, he's our tour. Without our tour, I mean, we'd be playing for a lot less, and the tour would be drastically different if Tiger never came around. And so they've done such a good job, I think, leading us in the right direction, and I feel like the tour is headed so quickly in a positive direction for all of us. I mean, membership across the board, and they're doing such a great job that, I mean, I don't have any issue with anything that's going on right now. I think they're doing a great job, and I'm just proud to be walking alongside them, just trying to play some good golf.
Just a quick follow-up. I mean, do you think other players feel empowered to speak up if necessary, or is there the feeling like, we'll just let Tiger and Rory handle it, and I'm not welcome to speak my views?
I think that's been one of the biggest improvements within the tour is everybody having a voice. I mean, there's so many avenues to have your voice heard, whether it's Jay being president tournaments, and then we got Jason Gore on the squad as well. And there's so many avenues where guys can have their voice be heard. And I think that's one of the most drastic improvements the tour has made. When I first got on, I didn't really see that very much. You know, we didn't really have a Jason Gore type of person that we could go to. But I mean, the guys just are getting FaceTime with everybody out here. I mean, our tour is working so hard, just making sure that everybody out here is happy, and I think that's been a really, really kind of special improvement.
You're next year, sir. Yes.
Scottie, you mentioned the post-players visit here. How many trips overall did you make to Augusta since last year's tournament, and why was it important for you on Sunday to play all 18 holes and get the memories out of the way?
Yeah, so that was kind of the idea of the trip before. I mean, it's pretty special anytime you can come on property. I never really had a chance to do it before I won. I know some guys kind of made time throughout the year, but I never really had the time, and this year just carved out a couple days and just had a good time. Got to play with my dad and my coach, and then on Sunday I played with my sister, who's caddied for me numerous times, and so that was really cool just to have her out here and playing. Played all 18 holes. She probably hadn't played in about a year and a half, and just crushed it. Had a great time, and stuff like that is memories that we'll have for forever. And so it was important for me just to really soak everything in on Sunday. Sunday's a really just cool day out here with the drive, trip, and putt and everything that's going on. It's special.
Scottie, this time last year, I said that people in Britain would ask me what you were like, and would you describe yourself? You laugh, you remember it. And you said you'd rather not describe yourself, and that I would be better off asking your colleagues. Well, a year on, a lot more confident, a lot more successful. Could you now describe yourself to us?
Probably still the same answer. You got to find somebody else to ask. I mean, that's what's strange. I think people expect when you have success in whatever field it is, and I think ours especially, when people see it happen on TV, I think they expect you to change, and you'd think that I'm a significantly different person than I was a year and a half ago. But when it comes to life at home, everything's still the exact same. I mean, nothing changes at home. I still have the same friends. I'm married to the same girl I dated in high school. My family definitely doesn't treat me any different. It just so happens that we get to come to places like these on occasion and have fun. And life on the golf course has changed, just with fans and more people just being around, which is a ton of fun. But as far as life at home, I haven't changed a bit. So same answer.
Done.
Scottie, if you do win this week, you will then be mentioned in the same breath as Jack and Nick and Tiger. What does that mean to you, and how much are you motivated by the pursuit of history within this game?
So I think it's kind of a loaded question. I would say it's a tough one to answer because, I mean, legacy at the end of this is not really why I play. So I guess with that being said, anytime you can get mentioned in the same breath as a Tiger and a Jack and a Nick Faldo is really special, but it's not it's not a motivating factor for me to come out here and play. It's so special and cool when it happens, but it doesn't motivate me out here. I'm just trying to come out here and do my best and play good golf and have fun. And outside of that, I'm just hoping to have a good attitude and just come out here and just do the best that I can do. And wherever that ends at the end of my career, I'll be happy with. Legacy is just a complicated thing. In 100 years, I'm going to be forgotten, and it's not a big deal. And it's just one of those deals.
Owen?
You were asked initially, Scottie, about the sort of rivalry that's grown with Rory and John Ram. There's been a sort of the world number one spot's been sort of battled out between you over the last few months, and that. To what extent does actually being number one mean to you? What does it mean to you, and is it important? You could say it's a mathematical equation, or you could say it's proof that you are the best in the world. I mean, is it something that sits in your head and fills you with confidence?
I wouldn't say it gives me any sort of special confidence, but I mean, it's a math algorithm. And so for me to sit here and tell you guys I'm the best player in the world, I think it's not really my style. I think I learn a lot from all the people out here. I mean, I've learned a lot from all the guys that kind of came before me. I mean, I'm a student of the game, and I've learned a lot from playing with guys like Jordan growing up. I grew up at a golf course where it was, Harrison Frazier and Justin Leonard and Colt Knost were always out there, and I got to sit there and watch them. And all I'm doing is just trying to continue to learn and improve, and that's what's fun for me. I like that aspect of the game, is that you can never perfect it, and hopefully I'll keep getting closer. But golf's a pretty difficult game, and I'm sure things will change, and it's just a complicated deal. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, it's an algorithm, but number one's better than being number two in the algorithm. I mean,
John?
I think you've picked up a bit of distance since last year. Was that like a concerted effort after analyzing your game, or did that just a byproduct of something you were doing?
I think it's more of a byproduct of the stuff that I've been doing in the gym. I think in the last 2 years, I've taken much more of a priority in my physical health. When I first came out on tour and when I was in college, it was a priority, but it wasn't as important as it is now. It's a huge part of my daily routine, essentially, is making sure I'm physically ready to go. And my trainer, Troy, has been a huge part of that, kind of helping me along since I've been in high school. And we've just gotten to a point where I've been able to get rid of a lot of the aches and pains that I used to deal with when I was in college. And I've gotten to a place where my body, I feel like, is really healthy. And so we've been able to build some muscle and endurance from there, but it was a long journey to get to a point where I was in balance for a long enough period of time where we could actually start building a little bit of muscle.
Is the Yukon still running?
Yeah.
Jimmy?
I want to kind of touch on that a little bit. It's obviously been a very, very successful year for you. I'm wondering, what's the greatest indulgence you've allowed yourself?
That's a good question. I haven't gotten a new car. Still in the same house. I would say I bought a cold tub. That was a pretty big indulgence. That was fun. It's still not running at home, but we bought it. But nothing really. I think Meredith and I, one of our kind of somewhat traditions is buying a bottle of nice tequila after each win, and that's pretty much as extensive as it gets. I'm sure eventually maybe I'll get a new car, and I don't know. I'm not huge on that kind of stuff. I think for me, just the celebration at home is always fun, and getting to enjoy it with our friends, whether that be sharing a nice bottle of tequila with everybody and having some good food and just hanging out and celebrating. But I'm not a big car guy. I'm not into all that kind of stuff. Not really.
How many miles on the car?
It's probably close to 190. I mean, I don't really put many miles on it. That's really all my dad. I drive like 3 places at home. I go to the golf course where I work out, and a restaurant that's usually within 5 minutes of the house. So all credit to my dad on all those miles.
And just for the record, what year is it? What car is it?
It's a 2012 Yukon XL. It's white. My dad bought it here at the Masters. It says it's got a Masters GMC logo on the back of it.
Okay.
That's it.
2 more questions. Darlene?
Do you like to think of golf as art or science?
What's up?
Do you like to think of golf as more art or science?
Probably art. I think there's a lot of value in the fundamentals, but that's not how I play. I think I use those tools to hopefully improve, whether it's TrackMan or my grip club. I like getting my fundamentals down, but then when I feel good about where my fundamentals at, it's all about hitting shots and kind of creating and having fun. And that's, for me, that's what's fun about golf, is being able to curve the ball both ways and hit all kinds of shots and, try and spin it, do kind of cool things with the golf ball.
So like creativity over repeatability, say?
I would say so. I like my golf swing to be repeatable, though. But
Last question, Gary.
Scottie, Todd asked you about your message at the dinner tonight. I was just curious. Last year, the NBA celebrated their 75th anniversary team. Several years ago, the NFL had their all-century team. So like Montana and Brady were on a field together. Tonight, ostensibly, the all-century teams are going to be in that room. Just, if you thought about just looking around at those faces and how rare they convene together, and do you expect to get emotional speaking to them tonight?
I'll definitely get emotional. I wish I didn't, but I always do. I don't know what it is. The weight of everything kind of hit me as I was leaving the locker room. They were setting up for the dinner, and I was like, oh boy, like here it comes. And so I'll definitely get emotional. I still can't believe I'll be sitting in that room. And so it'll be fun. It'll be special. How rare is it to get everybody like that in a room where it's just us? There's nobody else. There's the chairman, and then there's us, and it's such a cool tradition. And I'm just excited to see how it goes. I'm excited to see everybody. I'm excited for the dinner. I'm excited just to hear stories, and like I said, hopefully we'll have a good time. I know we're gonna have some good food, and it'll be a special evening.
Thank you all very much. Scottie,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good luck this weekend. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you.